Houston, stand up because the noise around our franchise is reaching a deafening level right now, and we need to talk about the massive clouds gathering over NRG Stadium. People are talking crazy about our future, and it feels like the entire world is waiting for us to fail. You won't believe the narrative being pushed about our leader as we head into this pivotal 2026 season. We are building this tribe together, so hit that like button and subscribe because we need every single one of you. Comment your city below, because the H-Town takeover starts right now. The chatter around CJ Stroud has become absolutely explosive this offseason, and it feels like every analyst with a microphone has an opinion on his future. We all remember that ugly playoff ending back in January, and it still stings like a fresh wound for every real fan in this city. Now, we are staring down the barrel of a massive contract situation, and everyone is asking how much CJ Stroud is actually worth. Some people are even whispering the unthinkable by asking if the Houston Texans should even extend him at all, which is just total madness if you ask me. This is the guy who gave us hope when we had nothing. But the pressure is real, and it has set the stage for a 2026 season that feels like a total crossroads for this franchise. However, we just got some massive insight from someone who actually knows what it looks like inside an NFL front office. Carthon, the former general manager of the Tennessee Titans, just weighed in on this drama, and his perspective might just save us from a total meltdown. While the media is trying to paint this as a nightmare scenario, Carthon is telling everyone to take a deep breath. He appeared on CBS Sports to discuss the reality of the situation for CJ Stroud, and he made a very compelling case that this upcoming year might not be the make-it-or-break-it season that the critics are claiming. Carthon pointed out that CJ Stroud has already been good enough to lead us to the playoffs, and that the secret to winning in this league is consistency at the quarterback and head coach positions. He basically told the rest of the league that they would kill to have a player like CJ Stroud under center instead of the uncertainty they are dealing with. Do you agree with that assessment, or are you still feeling the heat of that playoff loss? We need to stay focused, because the history of this team depends on finding a leader who never quits. But wait, it gets even crazier when you look at why Carthon might be saying these things, because there is a deep connection here that most people are completely overlooking. Carthon and our head coach DeMeco Ryans spent a long time together with the San Francisco 49ers from 2017 all the way through 2022. They were in the trenches together building a powerhouse, and they have maintained a very strong relationship ever since. This is the raw truth that the national media won't tell you. While these comments might not be a direct quote from DeMeco Ryans himself, you better believe that these two football minds think in a very similar way. If Carthon is looking at CJ Stroud and seeing a franchise cornerstone who deserves patience and stability, then there is a very high chance that DeMeco Ryans feels exactly the same way in his heart. It shifts the entire mood of the conversation from panic to a sense of calculated growth. But we have to ask the hard question because the stakes are simply too high for us to ignore the reality of the business side of football. Is this season truly a make-it-or-break-it year for CJ Stroud, or are we just getting caught up in the off-season hype machine? It is a defining moment that could change the trajectory of the Houston Texans for the next decade. We have seen players crumble under this kind of scrutiny, and we have seen others rise to become legends. The tension is building every single day, and the weight on the shoulders of CJ Stroud is something that most people could never handle. They don't want you to know how much the internal dynamics matter, but we are seeing the blueprint being laid out right before our eyes. We are moving away from the fear of failure and toward a vision of long-term dominance, if we can just navigate these waters correctly and keep our eyes on the ultimate goal of a championship for this city and our loyal fan base. There is no question that CJ Stroud is heading into one of the most critical seasons of his entire life since the moment he first stepped foot in Houston. Let's look at the facts, because his rookie season was a massive success that ended with him holding the Offensive Rookie of the Year trophy, and we all thought we were headed straight for a Super Bowl. But the 2 seasons since then have created a massive question mark regarding his actual financial valuation. We are talking about whether or not CJ Stroud is truly in that elite group of top half starting quarterbacks in the NFL. It feels like a redemption arc is being written right now. If he wants that massive contract worth around $60 million annually, then he has to prove he can carry this team on his back when the lights are brightest. Is he worthy of being one of the top 32 names in the league? That is a total stretch to even doubt that, because his track record is actually incredible. CJ Stroud has proven he is a strong signal caller when he has a stable structure around him, and he has not missed the playoffs once in his 3 years as a pro. That is a historic level of success that many franchises would give anything for. But the climax of this story is about whether he is just a good starter or if he is a generational talent who deserves to be the highest paid player in history. I am being raw and honest with you because as your insider friend, I see the disaster that could happen if we overpay or if we hesitate too long. It would take a wildly rough year for CJ Stroud to lose his status as a starter, but the real battle is for his place on the totem pole. We are chasing greatness, and anything less than a top 10 performance is going to feel like a letdown for a fan base that has suffered for so long and deserves nothing but the best. Unbelievable. Seriously, I am losing my mind thinking about the disrespect some people are showing. We need to focus on the more important question, which is whether CJ Stroud should be judged as a top 10 or top 15 name in this league, or if he is actually a bit lower down that totem pole. This is the indicator that will decide his price point when he finally hits the negotiation table in the near future. It is a game of high-stakes poker, and the Houston Texans are holding a hand that could either win it all or leave us broke. I have a theory that the front office is actually much more calm than the fans are because they see the work CJ Stroud puts in every single day. They know the grit and the personality he brings to that locker room. But as a fan, the anxiety is real. You can feel it in the air at the stadium. It is a fast-paced world where one bad game can ruin your reputation, and a great game can make you a god. I want you to take a second and really reflect on what we have here. We have a quarterback who has never missed the postseason. Think about that for a moment. That is a level of reliability that is almost unheard of in the modern NFL. Carthon has a massive point when he says it might not be a make-or-break year for his talent, but it is absolutely a make-or-break year for his bank account. CJ Stroud is playing for his legacy and his lifestyle this year. If he hits his ceiling, we are talking about a historic run that solidifies him as a Houston legend forever. But if he falters, the conversations in 2026 are going to get very uncomfortable very quickly. We are standing on the edge of something massive, and I can't wait to see how he responds to the fire and proves to the world that he belongs at the very top of the football mountain. This is it, family. We are looking at a vision of the future where the Houston Texans are the dominant force in the AFC, and it all starts with how we handle the pressure on CJ Stroud. We have the pieces, and we have the coaching, and we have a leader who has already shown he can win when the chips are down. We are not just a team, we are a community, and we are a tribe that stands together against the rest of the league. They want to see us fail, and they want to see CJ Stroud fall flat on his face so they can say they were right all along. But we know better. We know the fire that burns in this building. I want to see your soul in the comments right now. I want to see the fire. Is this our year to finally take that final step, or are we being let down by the expectations? Are you riding with CJ Stroud through the storm, or are you worried that the price tag is going to be too high for our future success? We are pushing for 4,000 subscribers on this channel because we are the loudest and most passionate fans in the world, and we need your voice to make this happen. Every like and every sub brings us closer to being the ultimate home for Texans news. Don't let the national media dictate the narrative for our team. We are the ones who live and breathe this every single Sunday. We are the ones who remember the lean years and appreciate the greatness we are seeing now. CJ Stroud is our guy, and 2026 is going to be a year that we talk about for decades to come. Whether he cashes in or whether he has to prove it all over again, we will be here every step of the way to break it down. Stand tall, Houston. Our time is coming, and it is going to be legendary. We are the heart and soul of this city. Toro time.